black and gold family, hold on tight. The heat in Pittsburgh is rising. Fire, tensions in the air, the buzz has taken over the stands and social media. Everyone's asking the same thing. Is another move coming, or is the plan already set? The front office is working in silence, but every sign, every rumor, every whisper behind the scenes points to something big on the horizon. And when this team moves, my friend, nobody sleeps in Pittsburgh. Today, we're diving deep into the story, the backstage decisions, the turning points, and what could completely reshape the season. So before we get started, hit that like button to support the channel and show that Steelers Nation is alive and pumping. And if you can, drop a comment for our GM, Omar Khan. Go Steelers! The Pittsburgh Steelers trade deadline drama has reached a fever pitch, and fans across the nation can feel it. The question on everyone's mind is simple. Will Omar Khan pull the trigger on another wide receiver move, or are the Steelers satisfied after signing Marquez Valdes-Scantling to the practice squad? Yesterday's signing might not be the end of it, not by a long shot. The noise around the organization suggests that Khan is still exploring every angle to secure a true WR2, a player who can give this offense another gear heading into the final stretch of the season. The debate in Pittsburgh has been loud and divided. Some insiders, like Jerry Dulac, insist that the team won't make a splashy move, that the MVS signing might be the only addition. But national voices, Adam Schefter, Tom Pelissero, the big names, have been clear. The Steelers are still in on the wide receiver market. So where does that leave us? Somewhere in the middle of uncertainty and anticipation. Here's what we know. Omar Khan has no interest in overpaying. He's learned from past mistakes. Last season, the team stretched beyond its comfort zone for Mike Williams, giving up a fifth-round pick for a player many believed was worth less. Khan doesn't plan to make that mistake again. If the right receiver is available at the right value, a fourth or fifth round price tag, Pittsburgh is ready to pounce. But desperation trades? Not this year. Right now, DK Metcalf leads the room as the clear alpha, the physical marvel, the explosive downfield presence who can dominate when he's on. Calvin Austin 3 adds speed and agility, a slippery route runner with underrated hands who can threaten defenses vertically and underneath. Roman Wilson is still coming into his own, a developing, reliable young target. Scotty Miller brings depth as another undersized speedster, while Ben Skowronek contributes in specific run-heavy sets. Together, they form a capable but incomplete unit. What's missing is that technician, a bigger-bodied, precise route runner with sure hands, someone who can win in man coverage, move the chains on third down, and provide a security blanket for Aaron Rodgers. The kind of player who can handle physical corners, block in the run game, and still make contested catches across the middle. The mold? Think Jakobi Meyers, think Michael Wilson, maybe even Jawan Jennings. And speaking of Wilson, there's been contact. According to Zachary Smith from Steelers Now, Pittsburgh reached out to the Cardinals about both Marvin Harrison Jr. and Michael Wilson. Harrison, of course, is fantasy, a dream, not reality. His cost, likely a first-rounder, is way out of Pittsburgh's budget. But Wilson? That's a name worth watching. Just 25 years old, still on his rookie deal, with a frame built for physical play and quick, snappy footwork that allows him to separate with precision. He's tough, he's young, and he's got untapped potential, the kind of under-the-radar addition Khan loves. The fit is there. Wilson isn't a pure deep threat like MVS. Instead, he's a complement, someone who can win on those intermediate routes and create tough yardage. We saw flashes of that Monday night when he ripped through the Cowboys secondary, hitting nearly 20 miles per hour on a deep dig. The question is whether the Cardinals are even willing to move him. Jonathan Gannon's job is hanging by a thread, and Arizona might prefer to buy, not sell, at the deadline. Still, if the price drops to a fourth-rounder, the Steelers could strike. But if not Wilson, then who? Jakobi Meyers might be the most realistic option. He checks every box: route running precision, physical presence, toughness, and experience. He's got a career contested catch rate north of 60%, and his ability to create space against man coverage would give Pittsburgh exactly what it lacks right now. It's no surprise that Jeremy Fowler and other insiders have heavily linked Meyers to the Steelers in recent days. Khan knows what this offense needs. The Steelers love their heavy sets, those 2 and 3 tight end formations, but versatility wins championships. Adding a receiver like Meyers or Wilson would give Pittsburgh the ability to lean into 11 personnel, spread the field, and finally push the ball downfield with confidence. And then there's the wild card, Calvin Ridley. Electric, fast, and still dangerous after the catch, though not without flaws. He's got drops, yes, but his route running is elite, and the Titans have reportedly been shopping him. The cost might stretch Khan's comfort zone, but Ridley's talent is undeniable. The same goes for Deebo Samuel, another name floating around Pittsburgh's radar. Debo's not the best separator, but his physicality, run-after-catch skills, and blocking ability fit perfectly with what offensive coordinator Arthur Smith wants to build. The list doesn't end there. Jawan Jennings, Christian Kirk, both names that make sense for different reasons. Jennings brings elite run blocking and contested catch ability. Kirk offers slot versatility and polished routes. Even Rashid Shaheed's name has surfaced, though adding another undersized speedster seems redundant after MVS. Omar Khan's blueprint is clear. He's building this team with patience, with balance, with value in mind. The Steelers don't need a superstar, they need the right piece. One player to complement Metcalf's explosiveness and Austin's agility. One player who can make Rodgers' job easier when the pocket collapses, when the coverage tightens, when the season's on the line. So the question becomes, what move makes the most sense? Should Khan roll the dice on a young prospect like Michael Wilson, gamble on a proven veteran like Jakobi Meyers, or chase upside with someone like Calvin Ridley or Deebo Samuel? Because this is where it gets real. The decision Pittsburgh makes today could define how far this team goes when the weather turns cold and the games start meaning everything. Every fan in the Steel City knows this offense has been too one-dimensional for too long. The defense is elite, the leadership is strong, but if the Steelers want to chase their 7th Lombardi trophy, they need balance. They need reliability. They need someone Aaron Rodgers can trust when the pocket breaks down and a game is hanging by a thread. And that's exactly why Jakobi Meyers might be the perfect move. He's not flashy, he's not the kind of player who'll dominate a highlight reel, but he's efficient, smart, and consistent. That's the type of receiver that wins in January. He's got the kind of skill set that fits Rodgers' style like a glove. Quick feet, clean routes, and an understanding of spacing that only comes from years of refinement. Rodgers thrives with receivers who anticipate where he's going with the ball, who can adjust mid-route, who know how to create trust. Meyers brings that, and at the cost of a mid-round pick, he might be the most realistic and impactful option available. But then again, Michael Wilson lingers as that dark horse target. His youth, his frame, and his team-friendly contract make him a rare opportunity. He's not fully polished yet, not the kind of guy who'll immediately put up 100 yards every week, but he's got that raw combination of strength and finesse that the Steelers could develop into something special. Think of what Rodgers could do mentoring a receiver like that, turning potential into production. Still, the question remains whether the Cardinals are even listening. Sources inside the league say Jonathan Gannon doesn't want to trade away young pieces. His seat's getting hotter, and selling off talent might send the wrong message in that locker room. That's the kind of internal tug-of-war that often keeps trades from happening. And then there's Calvin Ridley. He's the wild card. High ceiling, yes, but with risk attached. The Titans' willingness to shop him tells you everything. They're in transition mode, and they know his value. Ridley can stretch the field like few others, and if the Steelers want to build a vertical attack that forces defenses to respect every inch of turf, he's that guy. But Ridley's drops and inconsistency can drive a quarterback crazy, and if Rodgers doesn't trust you, you're invisible. So that's a big gamble. Now, Deebo Samuel is an entirely different conversation. He's not your traditional receiver. He's a hybrid weapon, part receiver, part running back, part chaos. And while Arthur Smith has shown interest in versatile playmakers before, Deebo's contract and health history might make him too costly, both financially and in draft capital. Still, he brings that physical, punishing presence that could help redefine Pittsburgh's offense. Imagine pairing him with Metcalf, the bruising, the speed, the power after the catch. Defenses would have nightmares. But again, everything comes down to Omar Khan's discipline. He's earned the nickname the Khan Artist for a reason, because he knows how to manipulate markets, play patience, and strike when the timing is perfect. He's not here to chase headlines. He's here to build a roster that lasts. That's why many around the league believe he's not just trying to fill a short-term gap. He's laying the groundwork for sustainable offensive success. You can see that philosophy reflected in the players they've already brought in. DK Metcalf isn't just a weapon, he's a statement. Calvin Austin III represents the future, a fast, dynamic playmaker who can grow into a bigger role. Roman Wilson is still developing, but his versatility and work ethic have caught the coach's eyes. MVS was a smart, low-risk depth move that adds immediate vertical speed. But what's missing is that glue guy, that player who can bridge the gap between the raw speed of Austin and the physical dominance of Metcalf. That's why everyone keeps circling back to Meyers. If Khan can close that deal for the right price, let's say a 4th or 5th rounder, the Steelers would instantly have one of the most balanced receiving groups in the AFC. That's not an exaggeration. Add in Rodgers' ability to read defenses, his quick release, and his mastery of timing routes, and suddenly this offense looks dangerous. That's the kind of upgrade that changes playoff games. Of course, there's a real possibility Pittsburgh stands pat. Maybe Khan doesn't find a deal that matches his valuation. Maybe the market shifts, prices rise, and he walks away rather than overpay. And if that happens, it won't be because the Steelers are complacent. It'll be because they're committed to building smart, not desperate. They've already made one solid move with MVS, and they've proven that they can find production in unconventional places. Still, the energy around this deadline feels different. It feels like Pittsburgh is one move away from unlocking something special, one player away from transforming their offense from capable to complete. So now, as the clock ticks toward the trade deadline, the anticipation is electric. Every fan is refreshing their feed. Every insider is watching for that one WOJ-style tweet that could send Steelers Nation into a frenzy. Will Omar Khan add that final piece? Or will he trust in the roster he's built, believing the answer is already inside the building? Whatever happens next, it's going to define how this team finishes the season. And when you look at the names being discussed, Jakobi Meyers, Michael Wilson, Calvin Ridley, Deebo Samuel, each represents a different version of the Steelers' future. So, tell me, Steelers fans, if you had the chance to call the shots in the front office today, would you go all in for a proven veteran, or take the patient route with a young, ascending player who could become part of this team's core? Drop your thoughts below. And if you love in-depth breakdowns like this, hit that like button, subscribe for more Steelers talk, and check out the videos on screen for everything breaking from deadline day. Here we go, Steelers, because make no mistake, this moment isn't just about one trade or one position. It's about direction. It's about identity. What kind of Pittsburgh Steelers team do you want to be heading into the back half of the season? A team that plays it safe and hopes its current roster can grind out close games? Or a team that